And we're back. Welcome to the Stretch Drive. This is an exciting edition for us of the Stretch Drive. This will be our first coverage of the New York Sire Stakes 3-year-old filly edition at Tioga Sunday. Great card, 13 races on tap. Me and Mike will be here. We're going to give you our insight on all 13 races, including all the Sire Stakes, plus the Roll with Joe, plus the Graduate. Listen in. Here are our picks. Don't forget, follow us at thestretchdriveblogspot.com. Also, our Twitter handle at stretchdriving. Again, 800 views Tuesday night for Wednesday's card at Buffalo. We handed out winners. Saturday night, Buffalo picks are in. The video will be up. Now, let's get to it, Mike. Big edition, Tioga Sunday afternoon.
I wish I could be there.
I wish they had fans.
It'd
be a good day.
But we'll be watching.
First race kicks it off. Excelsior A, New York Sire Stakes, $15,000 on the line. First half of the double, exacta try and superfecta wagering. I went to the 2 reciprocal blue chip. Had 2 really nice qualifiers. The second one was really nice, back half in 57 and 4. Her second one, I should say. Her first start at Tioga, she did make a break. If she minds her manners, I like the 2 reciprocal blue chip to win the Excelsior A to start off the card. For second, I went to Island Lily. Tom Jackson drives for Fred Grant. He was second to Reba Blue Chip. She was second to Reba Blue Chip in her first start. For third, I like the 3 Ask Me No Questions. Jimmy Martinez drives for Phil Fluette. This one looks like she's got some speed. Doesn't always mind her manners, but when she does, she's fast. So this one is a big question mark for me. For fourth, I went to the 6, Flotus and John Stark to round out the super. So in race 1, I'm going 2, 4, 3, 6 to start the card. Reciprocal blue chip and Chuck Norris.
Well, I actually went to the 4 Island Lily. I like the way she raced in the New York prep, and she had a couple nice qualifiers before that. For second, I went to Condescending. Tyler Buter for Rob Harmon. I think she can be out there and trot up late. And for third, I went to Flotus, John Stark. Always got to use Starkey. Always has some nice trotters. And for fourth, round out the Superfecta, I went with Reciprocal Blue Chip for Charlie Norris, hoping that she'll mind her manners. You need to get that?
No, I'm good. Okay. Moving on to race 2, it's a New York Sire Stake eligible for 3-year-old Colt Pacers, the Glamour Division, they call it. These ones are just prepping. I went to the 1 American Rebel. This one qualified huge. Monster qualifier, 153 and 2. Tyler Buter drives for Rob Harmon. For second, I went to the 5 Always on the Hunt out of the Ray Schnicker barn. He also had a nice qualifier. Racehorses have come back really good. I had a couple nice winners at the Meadowlands. For third, I went to the 4 Come On Rags. Georgia Ducharme train. Scott Zeron gets in the bike, qualified nicely at Vernon. And for fourth, I went to the 2 Chief of Staff. Jason Bartlett drives, fresh off his first start at the Meadowlands. I think he could suck along and be fourth. So race 2, we're going 1 American Rebel over the 5, 4, and 2.
I went also to the 1 American Rebel on a huge qualifier, getting Tyler Buter in the bike here for Rob Harmon. Second, I went to the 5, Always on the Hunt. Agree with you there. Third, I went to the 4, Come On Rags.
Just like that.
Not much more to know. For fourth, I went to the 3, though. Tried to pick Trevor 1, Matt Kakali in the bike for Gene Drolet. A couple nice qualities. And had a start at the Meadowlands. Didn't fare so well, but did come home in 26 and 4.
Yes, that's a nice start. Moving on to race 3, Exacta Tri Superfecta wagering also in race 3. I went to the 6 Sophia's Express for the Jessica Cusco barn. Wally Hennessy drives. Wally's always been known as the king of the Sire Stakes. He'll drive this one for Jessica Cusco. I think if she minds her manners, he'll put this one on the front. For second, I went to the 7 What a Fit. Gets Tim Tetrick in the bike. Huge driver change, Mike, here.
Timmy T.
This one will fly late. Be a major factor in the race. If you could get 92, I would go that route. For third, I went to the 3 Credit for Gab. Dave Dewhurst trains for Andy Miller's going to drive. Dave Dewhurst is always a factor in these Excelsior B races. Always horses that trot. Always a factor. So I went 6, 7, 3, and for fourth, I'm going to go with the 4 Tapupu and Jim Martinez.
Well, I went to 7 on the driver change, getting Tim Tetrick in the bike. What a fit. Like you said, 9-2, be a huge price on that horse, I think. For second, I went to the 3 Credit for Gab. Big driver change there, getting the Orange Crush in the bike. For third, I went to Sophia's Express with Wally Hennessy. Seen him a lot at Pompano over the winter. And for fourth, I'm going to round it out with Blazing Fuchsia for Charlie Norris.
Moving on to race 4, first leg of the Graduate Series. This is a phenomenal race. We have mid-double, exacta, trifecta wagering. Got the Burke entry off the rail, Warwi U-Boot, and Dolis Salos Deo. I went
pretty good.
Yeah, thank you. I went elsewhere. I went to the 4 Bronquino, Ray Schnittker trains, Tyler Buter drives. This horse qualified giant at the Meadowlands, 150-2 last quarter and 27-2. I think Tyler Buter will be aggressive with this one. I like Branquino to win the first leg of the Graduate. For second, I went down to the 7 Angers Bayama. Tony Alanya trains, Andrew McCarthy drives. This one qualified last quarter, Mike, 26 seconds, mile and 51-4. For third, I did go to the Burke entry. Warwi U-Butte, mares facing the boys is always tough. She starts her 4-year-old debut off a giant qualifier where she came home in 25 seconds. The 1A De Los Celos Deo is also freaky fast. Doesn't always mind his manners though. So in race 4, I'm going 4-7-1.
I just want to point out on Angers Bayama, first time Lasix in the last qualifier. Might be a big change in this horse.
Yeah, I mean, he was back half 54-4 was large.
I went to the 6 working on a mystery, getting Tim Tetrick for the Brian Brown stable. If you look back to his Hoosier Park qualifier, winning 50-4, last quarter 25-4. So I'm going to go with working on a mystery for the win. For second, I'm going to go with ShamWow for the Jim King Jr. barn, getting Dexter Dunn in the bike. Big reason I picked the 2 for second and the 6 for first. Timmy Tetrick had to take working on a mystery over the 2. Usually drives for Jim King Jr.
Yes, he does.
And for third, I rounded out, I went with the 1 Warwi U-Butte for the Burke entry.
Moving on to race 5. There's just win place wagering only, exacta. I went to the 3 Love a Good Story. Andy Miller, this horse made $234,000 last year for the Andy and Julie Miller stable. 7 wins in 10 starts, 2 seconds. Just the 2 seconds. The time she lost was to Hypnotic AM, who's an absolute machine. I love this horse in here. I think she's got a nice qualifier under her belt. So we went to the 3 Love a Good Story on top. For second, I like the 1 Without a Warning, George Ducharme trains for Scott Zeron. Also comes off a nice qualifier, made $186,000 last year. She's no slouch. For third, I went to the 5 No Mas Drama, Jen Bongiorno, Joe Bongiorno drives. Always a factor.
Not much for me to say here. I agree with you 100%. The 3, 10 starts, 7 wins. Not much else to say.
Moving on to race 6. This one starts to pick 4. Also a leg of the Graduate. Great event. Look at the 5 Hurricane Emperor. This one, Mike, coming off a 149-4 qualifier at the Meadowlands with a back half of...
A lot.
Oh,
Quick.
that's fast.
That's quick.
I mean, I don't even know if I could figure that out.
I think that's 53.
I think that is 53-2, which is huge. We're going Hurricane Emperor on top. John McDermott trains. Mark McDonald drives. For second, I went to the 6 Southwind Ozzy. This horse had a monster 3-year-old season, winning 9 of 15, $837,000 on his card. For third, I went to the 4 Escape the Beach, Virgil Morgan and Dexter Dunn. Hard to go wrong with those 2. So in race 6, I'm going 5-6-4 Hurricane Emperor off a giant qualifier.
I also agree with you. I went with the 5 Hurricane Emperor. Like you said, huge back half. Last quarter, 26. For second, I went to the 1 Captain Victorious. Again, Burke entry. For third, I did use Southwind Ozzy. Huge 3-year-old campaign.
Yeah, he was definitely in the class of the 3-year-old circuit last year. Moving on to race 7, starts a pick 3, exacta try, 10-cent super. I went to the 1 I'll Do It Myself. Scotty Z drives for his dad, Rick. This one had a 2 nice starts where he finished second up in Woodbine, gets the rail. I think it's a huge advantage for her. For second, I went to the 2, Charlotte Chaplin, George Ducharme, and Brian Sears team up here. This one's coming off a couple nice qualifiers herself. And for third, I went to the 6, Credit Davida, Tron Smedgehammer, train drives for the Purple Haze stable. This one only had 2 starts last year, so it's interesting to see what this one has to offer in this Excelsior A. Tron must think a little bit of her to put her right in the A. So I'm going 1, 2, 6 in race 7 with I'll Do It Myself.
I went to the 2, Charlotte Chaplin, Brian Sears getting the drive for George Ducharme. I like the driver change, Howard Parker to the White Knight. For second, I went to the 1, I'll Do It Myself for the Zerons. And for third, I actually went to the 3, Tipsy Gypsy for Perry Simser, Tyler Buter getting the drive in the white.
Moving on to race 8, first half of the mid-double, Exacta Tri, 10-cent super wagering. The Roll with Joe, this is a fantastic event. This is sponsored by Blue Chip Farms. This is a Grand Circuit event. I went to the 3, Better's Wish. Chris Ryder trains Dexter Dunn in the bike. This one has 3 qualifiers, the last one being the best, where Dexter put him on the front last quarter, 27 mile and 49 and 2. I think he'll be tightened up and ready to go. This horse made $1.6 million last year, Mike. Phenomenal horse. 13 wins and 19 starts, 6 seconds, always right there. Better's Wish on top for me. For second, I went to the 6, None Better A, who paced 48 and 4 last week and just wasn't good enough, I guess. I pick him for second. For third, the 4, Backstreet Shadow. T-Trick tries for the Burke stable. You can't go wrong for that. And for fourth, I went to the 2, This Is the Plan. Yannick for Burke, also can't go wrong with that combo. So I'm going 3, 6, 4, 2 in the 8th in the Roll with Joe.
I actually went with None Better A to win this one. Like you said, huge mile last start. Got beat by a Highlighter off a huge mile.
Yeah.
I went Better's Wish for second. I mean, you could flip-flop those two. You could almost just close your eyes and pick one in here, and you might get the winner. For third, I actually went outside to Highlighter off of that nice race he had at Meadowlands. And for fourth, I rounded it out with the 10, American History, huge qualifier at the Goshen, I believe that is, right? Is that Goshen?
No, that's Gateway.
Gateway, excuse me. 28 second last quarter, 50 and 3 win by 13 lengths.
Very, very fast animal. Moving on to race 9, Exacta Trifecta wagering. This is another leg of the Graduate. I went down to the 8, Best in Show. Linda Toscano trains. Timmy T drives. This one's had 2 very nice qualifiers. For second, I went to the 4, Dancin' Lou. Brian Sears drives for Tani Camilleri. This one was flying late last week for Dexter Dunn. Sears picks up the drive. For third, I went to the 3, Brassy Hanover, coming off a absolutely giant start at Scioto. And for another one you want to throw in is the 7, U.S. Captain. Dexter Dunn drives for Tony Alagna. Dexter had his choice, went to the 7, so this one's also a factor. So I'm going to use the 8 over the 3, 4, 7 in the 9th.
I agree with you. I went 8 with the 3, 4. Not much else to say. Best in Show might be the best.
Yeah. Moving on to race 10, pick 3, win only, Exacta.
This your best bet?
In race 10, I think we're talking about probably the best horse on the New York Sire Stakes circuit, whether we're talking about pacers, trotters, fillies, fillies, colts, geldings. I think this horse, this filly, is a standout. The 3, Hypnotic AM for the Marcus Melander stable. Brian Sears drives, 457,000 last year, 7 wins and 9 starts. Qualifier, Mike, she only did it last quarter, 27 and 3 mile and 51 and 2. She's freakishly fast and will win this one by as many as Sears wants. For second, a very good filly also, the 2, Reba Blue Chip. This one is undefeated this year, 2 for 2 at Tioga. For third, the 1, 7 times a lady, Aki Svanstead made 220,000 last year. She's no slouch either, but this Hypnotic AM, easy for you to say, is the best of the bunch.
The only thing there is to say is turn the page. I agree.
Moving on to race 11, Exacta Tri Superfecta wagering. It's an Excelsior A event. I went to the 5, Pat's Inspiration. Dexter Dunn drives for Nifty Norman. This one's making his third pari-mutuel start for Nifty Norman. I like the start she had at the Meadowlands. She trotted home 28-3, mile and 55-4. I think that tightened her up good enough for here to beat these. For second, I like the 3, Sweet Sophie T. Dave Dewhurst trains. Brian Sears drives this time, coming off a nice second at Vernon. For third, I went to the 4, Questa Chap with Tron Smedhammer for the Purple Hay Stable. This one closed up good in her qualifier. So we're going 5, 3, 4. For fourth, I like the 7, Manny's Lady for Jessica Cusco and Wally Hennessy.
I got some of the same numbers. I went to the 3 on top, Sweet Sophie T with Brian Sears in the bike for Dave Dewhurst. I went to the 1 second, Seeking Royalty, driver change to Timmy T. Can't go wrong there.
No.
For third, I actually went to the 5, Pat's Inspiration, new in the Nifty Norman barn. I like the way that she raced in the last start and getting Dexter done. And for fourth, I rounded out with Quest the Chap for Tron Smedhammer.
Moving on to race 12, first half of the late double, Exacta Tri and Superfecta betting. This is another one of them 3-year-old colt prep paces. I went to the 2, Sunset Booze Cruise. Makes his first start for the T Wine Barn. Scotty Z drives off a really nice qualifier, 152-3 at Vernon. 3-1 morning line. I think Sunset Booze Cruise gets the job done in here. For second, I like the 6, Level Up. Been really good since the addition of Lasix in his last start of last season. Had a really nice tightener at the Meadowlands off an okay qualifier at Goshen for Jason Bartlett. For third, I like the 4, JK Last Chance. Makes his first pari-mutuel start ever for the Jim McDonald barn. So we're going 2, 6, 4 in race 12. For fourth, we're going to go with the 7, A Lot of Chips for John Bootenchain and Timmy T.
I agree. Horse on top, Sunset Bruise Cruise for the T Wine Barn, Scotty Z in the bike. I wish I could take one right now.
Yeah, Sunset Booze Cruise would be fantastic.
For second, I went to JK Last Chance out of the Jim McDonald barn. Love the qualifier, getting Wally Hennessy in the bike. For third, I went to A Lot of Chips, Timmy T for John Bootenchain. And for fourth, I'm going with Teton Sunset, Mark McDonald out of the Schnicker barn.
Moving on to the finale, Exacta Tri Superfecta betting. This is an Excelsior B event. I went to the 1, Winterano, Tron Smedhammer, trainer driver for the Purple Hay Stable again. This one only had 2 starts last year. Tron quit with her, comes back, qualified nicely at Chester. I just think he'll be. I just like her in here. For second, I like the 5, My Blue Opal. She had a really nice start at Vernon. Closed late, won by 5, blew him away in the stretch. Last quarter in 29. For third, the 2, Grayscale. Scotty Z drives for George Ducharme. And for fourth, go with the 6, Chapter and Grace. Makes her first start. She'll be a price. Timmy T, I think she might be able to get a piece of the super.
If she minds her manners.
Yes.
I went also with the 1, Winterano, Purple Hay Stable, local stable here. Second, I went to the 5, My Blue Opal. Like you said, blew him away in the stretch, last quarter, 29 seconds. And for third, I went to Little Magic out of the Phil Fluette barn, getting Jimmy Martinez. And to round out the super, I went with Grayscale.
Yeah, so there's our picks for Tioga. Sire Stake action on Sunday, 3-year-old filly division. You also got the Roll with Joe, the Graduate, 3-year-old preps. We'll be with you all season for Sire Stake picks. Real excited about that. Follow us on our blog at thestretchdriveblogspot.com. Also on Twitter at stretchdriving. Thank you for joining us. Mike, have a wonderful weekend. Very prosperous. Let's make some money.
Off to the races.
Off to the races.